bought another one of these composters. It's similar to the one that's over here in the back of the yard. I'm going to go set up this one next, and then we're going to move the compost that is right here behind this tree, and we're going to put it on the other side of the fence. The chickens keep using it as an all-you-can-eat buffet, but they're taking all of my dirt out of the bottom of it and just scattering it around the yard, and that's what I want to keep. So I'm going to put it on the other side of the fence. I'm going to put it behind like a black wrap. Basically, it's got smaller holes in it for ventilation, but I won't lose as much out the sides like I do with the regular fencing that I've been using. So I'm going to put this up today. Okay, so I have it all laid out. There's no gloves. There's no posts. This is just the wrap. This one came with these little posts that you drive into the ground to help support it. So why didn't I get those? And then also, why didn't I get a pair of gloves? I guess I'll just try and use it, but I'm going to report that to customer service because I don't even know if they could do anything because it's been over a month, I think, since I bought it. I wasn't even going to put it up until next month. Dang it, man. Alright, so I reported that it doesn't have any poles. The gloves aren't a big deal. I'm not worried about those. But we're going to put it up right here next to this one, with a little bit of space in between so that way there's proper airflow. So we're going to do it on this side of the fence so that way the girls can't get to it. Let's get started. Okay, I've got it set up here. The way I went around not having any posts is I put some stakes in the ground to help hold it. And I did it every about 18 inches or so. Best I could. I think there's not one on the back side here because it's right up against my fence. I've got a lot of rocks in my yard. I was going to use the hammer to pound the stakes in, but it seems like for the most part all the stakes went in pretty easily. So now it's time to fill it with that. I started this project by having the chickens out with me, and as I thought it would be, they were just a pest. I chased them off a few times, and eventually they got the hint to kind of leave me alone. And then I took a break and did not let them back out again with me. The top part was pretty easy to move, and it was pretty light buckets for the most part since it was mostly leaves and some straw around the outside that I had removed first to put on the bottom. So those buckets were pretty easy to throw over the fence, but as I got further down the compost pile, it got a lot heavier because the dirt was a lot more prevalent than towards the top. This is where I had grabbed the hose. I got about halfway up in the compost bin on the outside of the fence and decided that this would be where I would put all the water when I'm adding it in. I didn't turn the hose on full blast or anything. I just kind of trickled it out of the faucet so that way there was a steady stream of water, but I don't jack my electric bill up to, or my water bill up too high. We've got some pretty big worms around here, but I noticed there was a lot more pill bugs and like centipede, millipedes. I don't know the difference. They're all gross to me. I keep walking to the outside of the fence so that way I can try to flatten out the compost and make sure that it's spread out pretty evenly and it doesn't like start to lean or anything like that. I've had that issue with a couple compost piles. They like to lean because I put too much heavy stuff on the outside. I'm hoping the contents of this compost pile will be available for me to use by next summer for my garden, so that way the things in my garden will actually grow and not just die immediately, and so I don't have to buy as much filler dirt. This is where I got to. Basically the whole thing fit without having to wait for it to compress a bit. But I got this full. I didn't like dome it over or anything. I figure I'll wait for it to drop down and then I will put more in. In order to keep the ladies out of it, I think I'll just put the plastic over it. Maybe it'll be out of sight, out of mind. I think that's wishful thinking. It's taken me a couple extra days, but I finally flattened it out. That's the first compost pile that can be used. I have used this, but I think it might have burnt my plants up, so maybe it needs to sit a little bit longer. But at this point, it's been almost an entire year that it's been there. So here's the other pile. I've domed it over this time. So now she's full.